All right, I think we are going live now. So we are switching gears from tarot to let's talk astrology now. So we've got some people talking, asking if we can cover astrology as well. So put in the comments if you want to know more information about your astrology charts and reports, or any other information that you have on yours, and we can work through it. I've got my handy dandy Astro dice here, so they're super helpful. They kind of keep you sharp. I realize, I think of learning numerology is relatively easy, but it can be vast in its own way. But then I found learning tarot was relatively easy as well. Those could take like a year or so to get used to. But I personally found, even though I was really interested in, I love space, that astrology was one of the hardest to learn because once you get in, there's so many more layers and layers to go that it gets really complicated to try and learn everything there is. And I don't know if I'm 14 years in, and I don't think there's everything you could possibly know about your own astrology. So that's why I like to keep the dice handy, kind of keep it fresh, and kind of do some quick examples here of this. So let's see. Let's see if you are Aquarius in the 10th house, and that is coming through, some Venus energy. Then what that really means is like this is someone who, in the working world, since 10th house is about like where you work and where your career, they're definitely going to be having that. They're going to be a unique individual, but they are going to be someone who backs up with their other coworkers or is great to work with from their coworker standpoint, because there's someone who really will take care of the people that they work with, even if they're working in a really weird way, in ways that may not be, as conventional. I guess that's the best way to say it. So let me do another round here. So this one we have Capricorn in the 7th house, and that's coming through with some Jupiter energy. And so Capricorn is very I tease all my Capricorn friends because I think that's very, it's a Saturn. It's ruled by Saturn energy, so it's kind of more rigid, more plotting, more structured energy. And the 7th house, that's going to be how they deal with their relationships. So that's someone who would probably like more traditional roles in a relationship, and have that kind of more old fashioned type of relationship. But having that Jupiter energy there, it's in the 7th house, would say it is about relationships and so forth. First house is about yourself, your self identity. 7th house is about relationships. Having the Jupiter there says this is someone who does want to grow and expand their relationships. So this is someone who at least would be, intent on growing the relationship or continuing to help the relationship grow each other, so that hopefully they can kind of learn from each other that way as well, right? So let me show you some examples of how, just briefly, there's so many connections in between tarot and astrology, because that's something that I not only mentioned, I do a lot of tarot as well, but also having, and once you start to understand that's all connected, you can kind of use information you gain from the tarot in order to go back to astrology and so forth. So let me find a good one that's not too complicated to use as an example. The Magician. So here's the Magician. So the Magician is all about, creating new things, manifesting things. So that's a lot of, air energy, a lot of Mercury energy. So that way they can kind of manifest things that come into fruition. We can also do some more on the, Astro dice here. This is now Sagittarius. Should I get this dice? Can't get it. Sagittarius in the 10th house. So we like a lot of dealing with work. And this time, instead of that, Saturn. So this time, this is someone who, Sagittarius is a frustrated dreamer. Their work relationship, also by Saturn, this is someone who will almost hold them. That's really is about holding themselves back. When I see Saturn, it's not really about other people can give you peer pressure and so forth, but you have to internalize it yourself, and you're going to be holding yourself back. So that way you have, information, or you maybe self-limiting beliefs of yourself that's causing you some, consternation.